as the pastor of the parish, what I want for my parishioners more than anything is happiness. I want them to have inner peace and joy while they're here on earth, and a chance for eternal happiness in heaven. And the only path to happiness is through Jesus Christ. Anything else, any other proposal for inner peace and joy here on earth, our lasting happiness in heaven, is an illusion. It's really the only way to get there. And if a person goes on Christ Renews His Parish weekend, they're going to receive support for that point of view from the others with whom they attend. They're going to go out revitalized and wanting to follow Jesus Christ. And I promise them, anyone who would go, that will increase their happiness here on earth and within themselves.
I've been on other retreats. I've been on a Curcio. I've been on Acts retreats. The nice thing about CHRP is you do it with all the people at your own parish. Whereas with some of these other retreats, some of these guys I've never seen again. But with CHRP, there are people that I see every day or every week.
Renewing our faith is something I think that everyone can use. For me, I think it was something that I truly needed and something I appreciate more and more each day.
I'll go. Okay, so my retreat experience was really good, but I kind of feel like I had an idea of what might result from it, coming out of it, just from previous years of seeing all these people stand up when asked, have you been to a CHRP retreat at Mass time? And you'd see crowds of people standing up.
Pulling into the parking lot, I sat there for a couple of minutes, but then somebody started walking toward the car, so I thought, to help me with my bags. So I thought, well, I'm here. Okay. I would say once I walked through the door and once we started actually going through the prayers and participating, that's when the apprehension started melting away.
I'm reaching out to my CHRP sisters. I talk to them on the phone all the time. We email each other all the time. We go out for dinner or lunch or coffee now. I now have a very close group of women that are strong in their faith, and we have the same values and beliefs that we can talk about, and we're not scared to talk about with each other. And that's probably one of my favorite things about CHRP.
I'd prayed for a couple of years to meet people in ICD. We didn't really belong to any groups and didn't really have any connections. And from going through CHRP, I was able to meet lots of people, have lots of friendships, and that has allowed me to feel so much more comfortable just coming to church. And that's just allowed me to spiritually grow so much more than before.
The highest point is the community of brothers within the church. You know, people willing to open themselves up to each other about their life situations, whether good and bad. And it's definitely a church community building program.
And now I just feel so much joy and happiness, and I'm a lot more outgoing. I'm much more willing to talk about my faith with other people because I feel so strongly about it. And you know, it's so funny because I feel like an evangelist, and I'll talk to someone and tell them about church and CHRP and how wonderful it is, and I'll say, but I'm not an evangelist, and I think, well, I am, because I'm spreading the good news of Christ with other people, and I'm just so much more apt to talk about my faith and about the Catholic Church now. And whereas before it was kind of like just something I kept to myself and only talked about with my immediate family.
Well, as a new parishioner to the parish, I was really wanting to just make friends and meet people, and this was the way for me to do that. We have just moved here, and this parish was very large for us compared to what we came from, and we didn't have an adoration chapel, and we didn't have the time to become involved in our other parish. So this was a great way for us to get involved with our parish, meet other people, and then just for me to look around during Mass and see all of my CHRP sisters out there and knowing that they're praying.
Yeah, if you or even have an inkling of coming to CHRP, you should definitely come to CHRP. I can only tell you that you will only find extreme brotherhood and support and love, and I wouldn't be afraid if there's anything that's thinking that you gotta have to get out there and do something that's uncomfortable for you, that's extremely wrong. You're really just there for the experience, and you will be enlightened.
Friends, everyone was impacted by my church experience. I think the most powerful thing was looking in the mirror every day and seeing that there's always improvement, and having a group of people around you to support you in that and to continue the journey of life.
After going through CHIRP, I now have developed some daily prayer habits. I read the Bible more. I have done things that I've never done in the past, such as pray the rosary quite often, go to adoration. It's just really strengthened my spiritual life.
A two-day event that was hosted by gentlemen that have previously attended a CHIRP. We really didn't have to share a whole lot about ourselves. You could join in as much as you wanted, but the things shared at the table after each witness was really powerful. The faith sharing at each and after each witness was very powerful for me.
I was always, you know, going to church on Sunday. Something was missing in my life. I didn't really read the Bible. We're going through CHIRP. I started reading scriptures and having daily meditation. And for me, that was something that I wasn't exposed to.
One of the things I really liked about that was getting to know the priest better. Now when I sit in Mass and I see, you know, one of the priests up there, I always feel like I know him a little bit better, because they do participate with us in CHIRP, and one will spend the weekend with you, not all three of them, but one of them will spend the whole weekend with you.
Had your mind wander during a homily, if you've ever felt like Mass was more of a chore, more of something you needed to check the box off to go to Sunday Mass, you need to go to CHIRP, because CHIRP will just bring the Mass alive for you.
Well, I'm not a morning person, but it helped me grow in my faith, that how much I yearn for the Eucharist even more, and so I am trying to attend daily Mass. That went through CHIRP, and it was amazing. Work, he comes home with work, he does his best to be able to get rid of all of the stress and leave it at work, but there were times he'd bring it home. But once he went through CHIRP, the peace that he was able to bring into the house after being a stressful day at work was incredible. Invited CHIRP was 6 years ago. So it took me a little while. I had an idea of what it was entailed, and I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the commitment. And then as time went on, and I saw how it changed and improved my husband, that he had something that I wanted, and I wanted that inner peace.
I recommend to anybody to go to CHIRP. You get a lot out of it. It is a very long weekend, but you get a lot of God out of it. I would recommend to go.
Can't tell you enough how great it is. So all I can say is go CHIRP and come find yourself.
Come to CHIRP.